Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. We're back, guys. We are back.
I was that pumped driving here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Morning, Jordan.
How many weeks has it been?
Morning, Jaxson.
Good morning.
It's been 4 weeks, has it? I can't remember.
Feels
think
like
it's
a lifetime.
5? Yeah. It's been a while. So I had my appendix out, but they had to take some bowel out as well. So not enjoyable. I have much more respect for women who have C-sections.
Did they cut through your six-pack?
They did.
Is
Like in about 4 or 5 spots.
Is,
So,
is it a 5.7 pack now?
no pack at the moment. I've got no testosterone in me and I haven't been training at all. I've been doing a bit of cardio the last couple of days. So hopefully Monday I can start training again.
Can I ask you? So 4 weeks, no training.
Yeah.
There was a lot of time there that you weren't eating.
Yeah.
You almost did nothing. You went from eating perfectly, training every day,
Yeah.
working really hard,
Feeling amazing.
getting
too.
up, gut health, everything in sync, to almost nothing for 4 weeks. To like
I didn't
literally
need to get my appendix out. The doctor saw that it was like swollen. So like I wasn't hurting or anything. I had no idea. I could have just did nothing. I was actually thinking about trying to heal it myself.
Do you,
I was.
are you glad?
I really was, because I don't have operate. I'm not like a hospital. Like yay, you got. I don't think anyone says yay, but I don't hang in hospitals, and I didn't want to.
And you didn't want to take any pain medication?
It's the worst. It was so bad. Hospitals are that depressing. When I'm a billionaire one day, if we ever get there, I don't know.
Didn't
who
you say
knows?
you're going to buy all
I'm
the
going to buy
hospitals?
all brand new beds for the hospital, so they're like comfortable. They are the worst beds. It's like they've gone to Clark Rubber and got
Don't you have private health?
yeah.
Oh,
And got the
Still
foam mat.
bad
I was in a
beds.
room on my own, but
Yeah.
it was like it's like they've gone to Clark Rubber, got the worst foam mattress you can get, and put it on the hardest bed that is really uncomfortable. I laid there for like the best part of a week, and the nurse, this guy Martin, he'd come in. We got on pretty good, and he's like, "Here's Matt. Why don't you open the blinds?" And I'm like, why? There's a wall out there. What am I going to do? Look at the wall. I said, I'd rather just be depressed with the blinds down. He goes, you're a weirdo. But there's nothing there, just a wall and some sun. But I literally couldn't move out of bed for the best part of a week. And then when I got home, Jackson's like, oh, look at you. Like trying to get out of bed. It was that painful.
lost 10 kilos.
Lost 10 kilos.
So what's the bounce back look like?
Oh, my goodness. Can't wait. I'm going to go like a slingshot. Yeah. So we'll see. But funny in hospital, they give you terrible food. I don't know. Not a place I want to go to again readily.
But do you find, I know we've got some
When
questions.
I say terrible food
Yeah.
that's not good for you, like ice
Yeah.
cream, jelly,
Yeah.
things like this. I'm like, what is this place? Like they should be giving you pods and what else do we eat? What else do
Bacon
we eat? Goat cheese
and oats
things.
and
olives, blueberries. Yeah.
So do you find it hard now to get back into like that mongrel again?
Nah.
Or, nah, you're just ready for it.
I'm born with mongrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
I can't wait. Literally can't wait. Like I've had 0 testosterone. So it's like, I feel like a scarecrow, but
I think you look good.
no, I don't. I look terrible.
Yeah, because that's just in your head.
Yeah, it is. Like but you know, but I think what I was taught as growing up as bodybuilding, because I was bodybuilding when I was younger, then not at all. Then I had to sort of relearn like a lot later in life. But I think it's absolute rubbish eating all these 7 meals a day. I did it because that's what I thought you had to do. All this protein, all this stuff. I reckon that's part of the reason my appendix blocked. Yeah, it's like
Too much
and
food for
bowel
the
and
body to
stuff.
process.
Yeah, because your body doesn't get. It's like driving your car on red line everywhere. Like your body is constantly trying to process it, and you're just shoving more meals in there. Like, and I don't think that's actually how it works. So now I only eat 2 meals a day. Gone from one extreme to the other, and not
What
before
time?
not before 12.
Oh, yeah.
One
So-
at 12 and one at 4, and then that's it. But what I'm
12,
what
1
I'm
4.
interested to see now, because they've got this thing about calories.
Which was, hang on, I seen a photo of what you were eating yesterday, or was it yesterday or the day before, which was totally, it was it like bacon,
Yeah.
beetroot, avocado?
Yeah.
Was there rice in there? I've never
No
seen
rice.
you eat anything
No-
like that
no
ever.
rice.
It was
Cut
like
out all carbs.
a plate
All-
of the weird. I told you what it was like. It's like, you know, when you open the fridge, you're like, there's no food, then you close it and you walk away and you go, I'm actually hungry. You got to go back for a second look. You
Yeah.
open up. I reckon it was like you went, there's a beetroot, some bacon, banana.
Well-
Like, and you just put it all in a plate.
Yeah.
Sketchiest dinner.
So I've gone pretty deep into gut health now. Like I have for the last 2 years, but now I'm like, I only eat if it's going to benefit your gut. So root vegetables, like things like sweet potato. So vegetables that grow under the ground are way better for you than the ones that grow above the ground. Don't ask me why. This is guidance from Mick, okay, the pod man. And I speak to Mick probably 5 times a day because I'm really keen to know, because I reckon gut health is the answer for everything. That's what I think. Now, learning all about it. Longevity, moods, emotional control, general health, lack of disease, all of that sort of stuff. Feeling good, just serotonin, most of it comes from your stomach, not your brain. I used to think it was the brain. So I used to think when I took ecstasies, I thought it was like coming from your brain, but it's not. It's from your gut, pretty much, a little bit from your brain. So I'm like, well, I'm going to see how good I can get with this stuff. Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the reason I eat bacon, it's not for the bacon, it's for the pork fat. Pork fat's very good for your stomach.
I was going to say, because you get a lot of people telling you not to eat bacon.
Good.
Yeah.
I see it come through.
Yeah. But because it's like a semi-carnivore diet, but not really, like it's got some other things there, but a lot of it. So it's basically meats and fats twice a day. No carbohydrates pretty much, apart from sweet potato. Yeah. So, we'll see. I might outlive you two.
You probably outlived me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to crash my car or something.
Jackson's like, nah, not doing that.
What
He's got access to all the pods. He's got access to all the like cool food and stuff like that at home. Ice bath. He doesn't do nothing but sit in his room and play video games.
That is such a lie.
He does.
What? I play at night after a big day.
Of this stuff. You should be.
I've been watching a documentary lately, actually.
What's it called?
Chimp Empire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this crew like Joe. He just went on Joe Rogan podcast, and they followed this group of monkeys in Gogo in Africa for 400 days. They had no electricity, so they had to charge their cameras with generators, and like they created all these characters.
Cool.
And it's really good. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put a generator in our new house, Jackson.
What for? Or just in case?
I'm gonna like just in case the World Economic Forum half takes over the world. I'm going to make sure I can live without them.
We've got enough diesel to power it up.
Diesel, going to have solar, going to have everything. I hope Klaus Schwab just explodes.
If you buy a generator, I'll buy a horse to get ready to start galloping down the street with
right.
a sword.
Yeah.
You got to get in the Cobra as well.
We're moving to our new house in 4 weeks, Jackson.
Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, let's go straight into some questions. Then I'm going to talk about the topic. We'll talk about the topic.
All right, this one says, I've hurt some of the closest people to me over the past 2 years. I think about it a lot and I hate myself for it. Have you ever felt like that? And what have you done to be able to move forward? Sorry to be a downer, but I'm generally interested in learning how to improve my relationships.
What's the question?
I've hurt some of the closest people to me over the past 2 years, and I think about it a lot and I hate myself for it.
Yeah, me too. I did that growing up. I was a nightmare. I borrowed $3,000 off my nan once to buy a car. Cars were cheap back then. It was this old Charger. And I didn't even drive it. I think I just pulled it apart in the garage and left it there. And then paid it back like 25 years later. So it's like she was that annoyed with me. Just fix it. That's all you got to do. Fix it or, move away from them. I don't think it's an easy thing with a relationship. Like Jackson and I didn't talk to each other for 2 years.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Starts with yourself, I reckon.
Yeah, you're the same.
Yeah, you've got to become a better person.
Yeah, you do.
And the people around you start to see it, and then.
Yeah. We were prepared.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, for this one.
Hey Matt, other than the pods you're eating, what are the other supplements you're taking?
Liver tablets. Got some good liver tablets, so I don't have to drink that disgusting powder. Powder just tastes like. And because goat's milk now, so I take goat's milk.
Drink goat's milk.
Yeah, goat's milk.
Seedy.
Testing, I have to say, testing. So it's unpasteurised, but that farm with the milk's the goat, they haven't got any at the moment because it's winter, so I have to buy it from Coles, which is pasteurised. So it's not as good, but the unpasteurised definitely tastes like they scraped it off the floor. It's like
Do you drink it too?
No way.
You mix it up.
I just have normal milk if I have cereal sometimes, maybe. But it's better. I might have Nutrigrain before I train.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Dad's like so hardcore, and me and Tara are just like, oh my goodness.
Tara is a machine.
Oh,
she is a junk food machine. You've never seen anything like
Did
it.
you get the photo of a burger yesterday at the beach?
Burgers, cakes, chocolates. Like you have never seen a person eat more junk food in your life.
She messaged
I'm
me
like
last
one
night.
extreme, and she's like the other. She's like, yeah.
She goes, "You want Thai food tonight? We're gonna get some Thai
Yeah.
food." I'm like, yeah, I'll get some
I
Thai
know.
food.
Jaxson and her have this little junk food.
Lucky you have a strong
communication going on.
mind because your household is no help to you.
No, none.
Zero.
At all. No. It's unbelievable. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. We'll get Tara back on at some point. What was that question again? Oh, what other supplements? So I take that. I take copper now. I rub copper into my skin. So I imported copper
This
from
is
America.
getting out of control now.
No, you need it.
It's getting
Copper,
out
you
of
need
control.
it. Yeah, so I put copper, this cordial copper or something. So very hard to get. Took weeks and weeks to come. And then I take magnesium, and I take adrenal tablets, and I take some other magnesium tablet, vitamin B. I take this thing called ion, which is from like deep in the earth. This mineral thing that
Are they like
that
salts?
you drink. No, it's like a doesn't taste like anything. It just is a liquid mineral. So I take that, and then lots of butter. But they're sort of like the supplements I take, and then obviously testosterone and stuff like that when I'm back on.
Are you doing a test before, and then you're going to do one in 6 months to see if there's any
blood stuff? Oh, microbiome.
Yeah,
I just did one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is there any
I just
way to
sent it
track
away. I did a real advanced one now. So I've done 2 before. My microbiome's like right up there, which is good. And then now I've just done like this deeper one. Yeah. It's quite interesting. So I haven't got the results back yet. But I have to say I'm feeling best ever.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Next question was first of all,
Jackson sitting in his hood and his hat.
It's so cold. I'm just trying to
Is
like
it?
keep some warmth.
Yeah.
first I want to say, admire your work.
Are you going to get on the pods, Jordan?
Me?
Yeah.
When I was asking Mick what was in it and he wouldn't tell me, I was a bit like,
Yeah, but you don't know what's in the air. You'd breathe it.
yeah, I know, I got no choice about it.
Just try it.
Yeah,
You should try it.
I'm
Charlie's starting them today.
yeah, I know. I'm sure they're fantastic, but I just am very simple. I just eat
Yeah, I know.
tuna
but
and rice,
yeah,
meat and veg.
that's not good.
Chicken and
I used to
It's
think that was
fine.
good. It's not. You go to hospital with your appendix blowing up then.
it probably isn't. But
No.
99% of my thought process is around our business.
Okay.
I can't be thinking
All right.
about all this sort
All
of thing at the moment.
Call me.
But I love
I'll
it.
drive you to hospital when you get your appendix.
First of all, want to say I admire your work. Think you're a powerhouse. Just started in real estate this year, and I've just lost my first listing. The vendor sent a text saying she decided to go with somebody without explaining to me why or what I could have done to improve, and it's really frustrating. So I've been chasing her for ages, and I feel really terrible about it. Do you have any advice about easing my mind and what I can do to make sure I get the next ones?
Yeah, just get better from it. So like, and you sort of got to learn to move on a bit as well. You could probably relate to this, Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's going to happen 1,000 times, but it's funny. It's those times that actually make you better. It's not the winning, because it's like you get complacent when you win all the time. But when you don't win, you sort of go, oh, okay, hang on. What could I do? Like they're asking, what could I do better? What I would be doing is, what do great agents do? Like the amount of people I've rung over the years, John McGrath, James Tostovan, James Dack, Adrian Bowe, all these people that say, what do you do here? How do you, because what's his follow-up like? His follow-up might just be ringing the person, but there might be a better follow-up system that you should be implementing. Like our one, we've got a good one. We've used it for years and years and years. And it's like, now's the time to go and see what other people do. You know, go to seminars, listen to people. It could be just the thing to make him more hungry and go, okay, well, how do I improve my business? You're good at that. You do it all the time. You come to me when you lose stuff and say, what can I do to improve? That's the best mindset. It's in those times that you build success, not in the winning all the time. The winning's great, but it's like, it doesn't really make you hungrier. That does though.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It's the best thing that can happen.
For sure. He'll practice his listing presentation more.
Yeah.
He'll think about the process.
Yeah.
I remember, what was it, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you and I lost a really good listing. I can't remember what it was. Doesn't happen very often. And you went, we're doing all new listing tools.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember? We went the whole way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
What parts of our listing process can we make people... We built tech systems, this, that, now.
Yeah, everything.
Didn't lose another listing for years. Would love to hear about how you're going with your fasting on Wednesdays. Did it make you feel better? Was it hard? Etc.
I have to admit, I really don't like it that much because like...
Terrible fasting. I hate it too.
Yeah, but it's so good for you. You know, after 20 hours, of fasting. So in the next space of 1, 2, 3, 4, longer. I haven't done a 3-day fast yet, but after 20 hours, your body starts eating all of the bad proteins, bacteria, all of that sort of stuff. So it starts cleaning itself really well. Like I can understand the benefits of it, but I don't know. I feel like I get too skinny or something. Like I feel like I'm a bit like, because already the issue that I have at the moment, what are you going to say?
I'll let you finish it then.
Well, the issue I have at the moment is I'm eating less calories now. So I've got to work that out in itself. But then you go fast on the Wednesday as well and don't eat for 24 hours at least. It's hard to get back in the groove of not eating till 12. Like I like the not eating till 12 thing. I'm actually half thinking of canning the Wednesdays for now and just staying in the rhythm of eating the 2 meals a day for now and just working that out. Don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't really love the fasting for 24 hours. It's all right, but it's sort of like I'm not clicked right into it.
Have you tried it? See, I like trying things too like that, but I just don't see the point. Like I just don't want it enough. I understand like when you someone like you and you're like, I just want to be the healthiest. I feel great all the time. Like, and I think, well, why do I need to fast? Why do I need to punish myself and not eat when I already feel great? Like what am I chasing? What I'm already feeling. So like, have you?
I'd get cranky.
I can't get my mind. I could do it easy.
I get cranky if I don't eat till 12. Like I'd start going. It's like my primal instincts kick in, and I need to find food. I'm like, I'll just grab whatever, and that's when I usually go off eating clean. If I haven't eaten for a bit, and I'll just find the first thing I can grab and just eat it to satisfy that.
It's like I don't want it enough or something. But if you had, say, a cancer scare, you would definitely do it.
Yeah, but it comes back to that prevention's better than the remedy.
I know, but because I do believe like that there is evidence around if you even a few days, your body will start to eat all of the bad cells. That makes complete sense.
Yeah,
like it does.
Yeah, I reckon I just look at food differently now. Maybe since the appendix thing, I don't really know, but it's rubbish. Most of the food that people eat is rubbish, and it's not good for you. So maybe you are better off eating like really good food. But the thing with the mornings, mainly for me, like the training fasted in the mornings or not eating in the mornings, because your liver stores all of this energy. So when you put more energy in, the liver doesn't get to use the energy that it's already stored. So it's like, that's the main reason I do it till 12, is to use all the energy from my liver first, or as much as I don't know how much is in there, but so use all of that, and then you replenish your body at 12. So your body's actually just working like in a really good way. Like it's like really, what would you call it? Like
just in sync with itself.
In sync or whatever, yeah. So use that energy, and then after 12, and you actually get really used to it. Like you're not hungry. When they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, that's wrong. Because you don't need to eat breakfast at all, because your body's got enough energy stored in it. And that's really why we eat, nutrients and energy. That's what fat does. Fat gives the body energy. So when people think carbohydrates do, and I'm not an expert in all of this, but I've really asked a million questions about it. But I can definitely see, when I was like training, I always have like a bit of extra, I don't know what you call it, like fat, like around the like love handles part. Like people couldn't see it, but I could. And it's like just around the back, because you can tell how much fat you got on you by just behind your love handles here, just at the like back quarter of your body there, just there. And there's one other space, but I can't remember where it is, but it's like there. That's how you measure it. So if you pinch like just behind your hip there, sort of like, but where you love, just behind your love handles, just not right around the back, just sort of halfway.
Yeah.
That's where you truly measure your fat. So now, since not eating before 12, I can see that like my body is definitely using the energy in the mornings and then the 12, because that's going like quite rapidly. So before, it just was real stubborn. Like even though I'd looked like maybe a bit bloated as well, but I'd look big. You wouldn't notice it if I was just training or wearing a singlet or whatever, but it was there. And now that's disappearing. So like I was eating too much energy basically
But
because fat is energy.
You would have eaten. You used to get up and eat the biggest breakfasts.
I used to eat so much.
Like huge. You would have eaten. So if you stopped eating till 12, you probably would have. That's probably 3 meals you're not eating now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But see, your body doesn't need, because that's why we eat for performance. Like we eat, so we have, people eat way too much and then drink beer and all this sort of stuff. Like your body can't deal with the amount of energy that's coming into it. Like it just overloads it.
So do you think that you're still going to be able to build your body to the size that you want without eating?
I'm going to see. I reckon I'll do it better. So what I'm learning is your body only needs a certain amount to operate real well. So like too much protein creates like sugar in your body. So when you got so much going in, I think people are misinformed. I really do. I don't know for sure. Like I'm keen to see, but I reckon we don't need as much food as people say, like especially with bodybuilding and stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm always keen to try things, but I reckon my body will be better. I'm going to be less watery, less bloated.
With that not eating before 12 thing, if I know you don't drink coffee, but say there was somebody out there who wanted to try it who does drink coffee, would you tell them not to have a coffee in the morning?
Well,
if they were going to follow that?
Yeah, I've canned caffeine altogether because I just felt instinctually it wasn't great. But caffeine actually produces cortisol. So it's like a stress. It's a stressor on the body. You might feel good, but it really just numbs
your tiredness.
Yeah, people think they need it for a kick. You don't. You actually need great gut health for a great energy feeling, like a great energy kick.
Well, you can get dependent on it. Like
you can.
Ando, like a good friend of mine, if he doesn't have a coffee in the morning, we were in Bali and he looked like he literally had a whole weekend bender. But we just went to bed early the night before, and then as soon as he took a sip of coffee, it was like, his eyes were back to normal.
Yeah.
Is that just because his body's dependent on it, or would it be
Well, he gets used to it.
Yeah.
It's like
it's the same now.
You think you need it. I reckon coffee, and like a lot of people drink it. But since I'm only talking about for me, like you actually don't need it. And when you're humming hard, it doesn't make you feel better. It makes you feel worse, I think.
I drink coffee all the time. I like it.
Me too.
I haven't had a coffee before I come here. I just like drinking coffee.
Yeah,
it tastes good.
I'm not saying people don't, but when they really understand what caffeine does, you wouldn't touch it.
Yeah. But it's like in the morning when you're just sitting around, you're doing your thing, you don't feel like eating something, but you want like a drink. And
that's what I find it does. Like it suppresses your appetite a little bit. So if I don't eat breakfast, I'll have a coffee.
It really mucks your hormones around as well. Like I was watching a video yesterday, lady, she's specializes in hormones, and she was saying that coffee is just the worst thing you can have for hormone, especially women, hormone management. Anyway, I'm not an expert in it. I just know that I feel better without it. Next one?
Question? Oh, last one.
Is there one more or two more?
There's one more.
Yeah.
So it says, hope you're feeling better, Matt. Had my appendix out a few years back. Not much fun. I want to meet you one day. I have a similar story around drugs and alcohol. Both my parents were alcoholics, and I'm 13 years sober and clean now. Well done. What's this guy's name? Well done, Campbell. My question today is I feel like I have this underlying belief that I just don't do enough. I don't list enough property, but the reality is I've been doing it for 3.5 years. Is there a way to manifest more listings and more everything into my life?
That's never going to go away. Yeah, that's never going to go away.
Oh yeah, Instagram.
Yeah,
you're always going to just be like, never feel good enough. That's
me all day, every day.
Yeah, that's what drives you. It's like, I wouldn't worry about it. It's like, that's good. That's a good thing because that's like hunger. I want to get better. I want to get more. That sort of stuff.
Yeah,
there's a guy that sent a voicemail last night. I get so many messages overnight. I can't find it now. Do you know his name?
No, you text last night saying...
What's his name though? I sent you a screenshot so I didn't forget.
Oh, the law of attraction?
Here it is.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, quick question for the podcast potentially tomorrow, or maybe you can just answer me if it's not podcast worthy. Have you in your role, when you've been sort of sitting for listings, sitting for business, have been so out of line with someone's energy or frequency that, you've been offered the business and you just felt so out of sync or out of a line with their energy or frequency that you'd had to turn them down? And if you did turn them down, I'm really interested in how how did you actually do that gracefully without actually making them feel like, like not letting them down or making them feel bad and things like that. Anyway, mate, hope you're well.
I've seen you do that so many times.
Yeah.
So many times.
But there's a couple of things to look at here, pluses and minuses. I've done it before and it's sold and it's gone.
Perfect one in Wombrel.
Yeah.
Where I was going, please, can we list it?
Yeah,
Please,
that's right.
it'll sell. You're like, nah.
Yeah, because I just wasn't in alignment with it, and it actually didn't. It made me feel bad dealing with the guy, but you got to be okay with that. Like you got to be like, yep, okay, that is what it is. I think it's more about if it's. This is the other way to look at it. It's come into your world, so you attracted it. Okay, this is probably more where I'd look at it. It's like, see the one that we didn't go, and you're going list it. Can we list it? He wanted 3 million plus, and it wasn't worth that. And it wasn't, was it? It sold for 2.55.
Yeah.
But we had it before, one of the other agents in the office did, and at the time, it was that hard to deal with, wouldn't take offers, so hard. And I was like, I just didn't want to put up with it again. So I was like, no, I just don't want to deal with it. But it sold for 2.55, so his motivation. But you got to, and he was trying to list it with us. The way you got to see it, you make the call on your instincts, but sometimes you got to see it as you've attracted it into your world. Rather than feeling about it, try and welcome it and line up with it. That's the better thing to do sometimes. You get what I mean? And line up with taking care of them. Because pretty much most of the time when I've said, nah, it's just sold. But I'm okay with that as well because I just didn't feel connected to it.
Yeah, but then there's been some times where you sit there and the people start telling you what to do.
100%.
And you go, I've heard you say, what did you get me out for?
Yeah.
It sounds like you know everything that you want to do.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you know everything to do. So why don't you just list it?
Yeah. There's no perfect answer for it. But even that one in Oak Road, that big house, remember?
Yeah.
And you're going, list it. It's better to have it. And I said, George, I don't think we should be listing. You're like, list it, listen. I went with what you said, and it just sat there for 6 months, and the guy was really difficult. And in the end, it just blew up because he was that hard to deal with. So I don't think there's an easy answer for that.
Can I jump in with some other questions?
Yeah, go.
I'll come back to you sometimes and say, what do you think about this one? I think it's worth 2.5. They want 3.
You got one right now.
Yeah, they're willing to spend on marketing. Little bit tricky to deal with because some people just love their house, which is fine.
Sure,
like there's
everyone
no
does.
issue with that. But you always say, do you like them?
Yeah.
Do you want to work for them? Do you want to take care of them?
Yeah.
Like, are you connected to them? And I say, yep, really great people. You go list it. But if I said, nah, not really, like they're a bit arrogant, like not really that nice of people, from what I can, you'll be like, let it go.
Yeah.
Because
you've
it
got to
depends
wake up
on the
every day.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't do it arrogantly. You can't just do that to everyone.
Yeah.
But if there's like that one at St. Hubert's,
Yeah.
your one.
Yeah.
And it was just giving you that much anxiety. I said, George, just give it back.
I did. Still in the market 6 months later.
Yeah, that's right. I said, just give it back. Because that energy drain that it's bringing for you is just not worth it because there's 3 people over here that want to deal with you. And it's much nicer and that sort of stuff. But you've got to acknowledge that you attracted it into your world. You're attracting everything into your world. So your energy matched that at some point. That's sort of what you got to see it as. But if you like the person and they're a little bit difficult to deal with and they're whatever, sometimes you got to look at why are they difficult. They're just anxious. We just sold a great one. We just sold a great one for an amazing price.
Yeah.
And the owner was that difficult, but I understood her.
Yeah.
I really did. Like I understood her, and she's just a bit quirky in her decision making. Like she just, just her personality. But I like her. I understood where she's coming from. So I was like, yeah, let's do this, and it sold really well.
Yeah.
But most people be like, I took her to a house once, and the architect said, "No, she's too hard to deal with. I'm not dealing with her." I'm like, why? He's like, no, I'm just too busy. Can't deal with her. But I was like, no, you got to sort of lean in. You said a lot leaning in. I'd lean into helping them. John McGrath said a great thing once. He said he had the most difficult client in the world ever, and he wanted to give it back. And then he woke up one morning and said, I'm going to give this person the best service they've ever had in their life. And then he sold their house, and that person became a raving fan. You got to make a decision and line up with it, whether that's move away from them or whether that's sell their house. But you can't wake up every day going, oh, I can't stand this person, la, 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 whatever, and try and sell the house. It's not going to go very well. But if you wake up every day and go, look, I understand they're anxious. Sometimes people are just real anxious and real uncertain and they've got a lot going on in their life. Like when someone's angry at you, I'm not saying in this work thing, but when someone blows up at you, I say to myself, they must have a lot going on in their life. I wonder why they're like that. And I get curious why they're like that. And have you heard the story about the kids on the bus out of control? And there's a guy sitting on the bus, like just looking out the window, and his 3 or 4 kids are running around the back of the bus, making all this noise and whatever. And a lady that was sitting there, she said, she turned to him and said, you should really control your kids. They're so poorly behaved, and it's like embarrassing or whatever, and you're like a really bad dad sort of thing. And he looked at her and he said, their mum just died this morning. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you don't know what's going on in people's worlds. So that's when someone's angry or they're a bit quirky, why are they like that? They might have had something really bad happen years ago.
That's normally what happens in deals when people...
Yes.
Like I just had a deal with a strata apartment and they're like, well, something about this random thing with the cladding I've never heard of before. Remember I'm calling you going, what is this? What are they going? As I got deeper, 14 years ago, they had that exact situation with that exact... And it cost them so much money. That's why they were like...
Exactly.
Like stuck in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, exactly right. People say, you say to me like, oh, how do you just move on from stuff? Because I've had that many bad things happen over time. Like so many gut-wrenching experiences. Now I just go, oh, well, just move on. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to look at the person. Why are they like that? Once you sort of look at them through those eyes, you pretty much work with most people. The only reason you wouldn't is if you can't dedicate the time and the energy and the effort and all that sort of stuff. You just don't have it.
Yeah.
So do you want to move on to a topic?
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the 31-minute mindset today.
Yep.
What that actually means, like 31-minute mindset. It's not about just 31 minutes, but the mindset of creating the life that you want.
Yep.
I think it's different. You know, you guys make fun of me about the gut health thing.
I didn't make fun of you.
Yeah, you do.
Not at all.
Yes, you do. Both of you. Like, oh, gee, I can't believe he eats goat cheese. It's ridiculous. And
No, I just think it's all so disgusting.
yeah, it is. It is. But think about the mindset of it, though.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is designing their life one choice, one day at a time, and you're going to end up somewhere. So are you two. You know, like Jackson's brother, we've watched him over the last few years design his life, and we can see exactly where he's going to end up if he doesn't make different choices. He's literally lost so much great opportunity, hasn't he, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're watching it. And everyone is the same. So really, like, I'm 51 in a few days. Like, and now my mind is shifted to, how am I going to be at 60? Can I be like a bit of a standout at 60 in the world? Like, as in, wow, look what that guy's doing. I was watching and I don't mean to do it for other people, just myself. Like, have you ever seen two people the same age? Could be two 55-year-olds.
Yeah.
One looks terrible.
Yep.
And the other one looks like, gee, what have they done? They've made a whole lot of different decisions over a period of time and ended up in that spot, you know? But Tara and I were sitting at, sounds very boring and old, but every Sunday morning, she can't do the Bondi to Bronte at the moment. She's like 21 weeks and she doesn't feel like it. She doesn't feel like it most of the time anyway. But so we
Got
go
an
to
excuse now.
Yeah, we go to the Haven now and just sit and watch people. Like, it's so boring. On Sunday mornings.
I don't think that's that boring.
I go train, she gets a breakfast, and then we just go sit in the car and just watch people. And do you know how many men around my age look like they're pregnant? Do you know how many?
Most.
So many. And there was this guy sitting on the wall, like there's like this sandstone wall, and he was like a bodybuilder, but not too big. But he had a t-shirt on, had a little dog, and his girlfriend sitting next to him. He would have been about maybe not quite 40, but close to that. Great body. You could see his body was excellent through his shirt, like really, really good. And the men that were walking along obviously have no interest in training and things like that. We're all staring at him behind his back, like, you know, and talking, and we're watching them all. It's like really interesting to see. And I'm like, isn't it funny. Like, they're not much different in age, but this guy's got a phenomenal body, and these, most of them, I'd say 80% of them, like podgy or big. Like, some of them were like bigger than Tara's belly. I'm like, isn't it interesting how they're both living their life, and one's making, and it's so accepted, like, to see men with their belly sticking out the bottom of their shirt and stuff. Have you seen those ones? Like, they got a midriff on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So accepted, so normal. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I was watching the guy, and I'm like, he would train so hard, like, you could just see it's like he's put so much work into it. Similar age, but different outcomes. And like different mindsets. Same opportunities, same sort of areas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's so funny what's accepted as normal. But they weren't making fun of him, but you could tell they were like that sort of thing behind his back.
It's polarizing.
So interesting. Instead of going, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. I was saying that's pretty impressive. You have great traps, like fantastic traps. And like, I was like, wow, that's taken a lot of work. Yeah. Interesting.
It is.
So it's like the mindset around, like, even you guys, how old you are. Like, I watch you two, and I'm like, imagine the decisions that you make from now till 10 years time. And I know you're sitting here, Jordan, going, oh, I'm right on track. I'm
I'm not saying that.
yeah, I know you are. But it's funny how the mindset will determine your outcome.
Yeah.
Relentlessly pursuing success, or like Jackson's brother, spend all of his money playing pokies and drinking. Literally. Threw away everything in his life. That's what he did. How old is he now?
19?
19?
19?
Yeah, almost 20.
Yeah, he's 20 in October.
Yeah, isn't that funny? And life is just, all it is a reflection of your choices. How many people message us about addiction? How many?
Most.
So many, don't they? So many. Like, oh, I've got this and that. Like, well, just stop it. Like, really, just stop it.
Do you think people just feel sorry for themselves a lot of the time?
I think people find it easy.
They just be like, oh, like, because I feel like there's a lot of people that complain about it and don't do anything about it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like they feel bad for themselves. They feel sorry for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I was drinking the goat's milk this morning, literally, and I was thinking, everything takes effort. Like, everything good and not so good takes it, because you're spending the same amount of time. But like, I was drinking the goat's milk, going, just takes work, doesn't it? Like, this gut health stuff and all of this. And I know I go on about it a bit, but it's like, it's going to go somewhere really good. I can see it, like somewhere really good. But somewhere super good. Like, that is the answer for health. So why would you not do that? I know you're not. You're like, I just have my chicken and rice. Yeah, but at 45...
Yeah, it'll change as my life develops.
It'll change.
But at the moment, I'm 95% healthy in my way.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. But it's like, what's the next little bit for you? That's why I'm so interested in this. Like, what's the next bit? And I'm like learning about all these little things like blue algae. Blue algae is like so good for you. Blue algae, never heard of it. Blue algae. Where do you get blue algae for a start? The algae farm or something.
I feel like it's like a game for you. You hear this new thing, you're like, oh, where do I get that?
Yeah,
and then
I
you
see
do this
health
little,
as a sport.
You do this little research, and you're like, oh, I'll get it from this little factory in America. Okay, I've got to email them.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, Jacko? It's Matt's mindset, because as he's coached me in real estate, I've worked out that the way he is with health was what he was like with real estate in the beginning of his career. Like all the little knickknacks and things and marketing tools and that you developed out your career is like what you've taught me to do.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing now. And you've just gone, I've become the GOAT in real estate.
Yeah.
I know you don't like me saying that. But now you've gone on your health journey.
Yeah.
You're at the top of your game in real estate with our team. That's the next thing. But that's your mindset.
Yeah, it is.
That's just what it's like fixated on now.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, yeah, for
like,
sure.
because you were always like, what next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
And it's like, what's next? Better. What better? It's like my relationship, right? So I've been divorced twice, and I've got 6 kids and 7th on the way. 3 women. 3 women, and I wasn't very good at relationships at all before. Like I just
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I didn't really understand what I needed to do. I don't know. I ended up with Jackson's mum. She fell pregnant basically the first time we had sex. And then it's like, Dad goes, "Oh, you better get married." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll get married." And then we're sort of compatible, sort of not, like young.
It's because you didn't really see anything to follow growing up. You had nothing to follow.
I went from homeless to living in a house with Karina and a family. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, geez, is this what a family is?
Geez, roof.
Yeah, it's like,
There's a fridge. It's got food in there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Beetroot, bacon, goat cheese. Woo.
Yeah. Then I went to Shelley, and then it was like, her and I was 16 years together, but it was like, it was all right. It just wasn't, I don't know. And then, but with Tara, I'm like, I really like being with her. But I'm also really like focused on an outcome now. I'm like, how good can I get a marriage to work? Because I get bored. Like I get so bored and with people and things and whatever. And I'm like, because unless I can run to my rhythm, if someone says to me, no, you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? And I go, like, it's like I'm busting out of my skin. But Tara gets me. Like she really like knows how to work with my weirdness, like my, but I want a great marriage. So I'm like, I've invested into making this work. Like I texted her the other day, she's got a sore back and stuff. I said, I'm going to massage you every night. That's the last thing I want to do. To be honest, that's the last thing I want to do. Like I do. It's just like, I get tired at 7:30 or whatever. And always, but she used to say to me, just as she was going to sleep, "Oh, do you reckon you can rub my neck?" And I'm like, "Are you joking? Like, I'm just about to go to sleep. What are you talking about?"
You're like,
yeah, putting my mask on. Yeah, sure.
Gotta take it off.
Yeah. But now I'm like, I'm going to get ahead of the energy and say, I text her and said, I'm going to massage you every single night just so she feels better with the thinger. But it's like, I can see the more energy drops you give it, like the more consideration, the more respect, the more this, the more trust, the more everything. It's got to go good. It has to go good. Same as with your body, same as with business. So when people have these issues, like Jaxson was saying before about addictions and stuff, like the reality is you're just giving the addiction energy. That's it. Give it no energy, it'll die and be gone. But then people go, "Oh, I feel the urge." Well, fight the urge. Like really, just fight the urge. Like it's like the 2 meals a day thing, not eating before 12. I go, the outcome's going to be way better. I can see that. So I just got out of hospital because I've clogged my system up or whatever it is. So now I've got to do this. There's just no question in my mind. I'm like, eat before 12, you don't need it. Basically, you don't need it. You're going to feel good because I can eat a bowl of Cheerios or whatever people eat, this stuff. If you really understood what eating breakfast was, this rubbish, this stuff, you'd never touch it. But you like the feeling of a big bowl of sugar and milk. Milk is just no good for you, this pasteurized milk and all. If you really understood it or took the time to, you wouldn't touch it. You just wouldn't touch it. But you like the feeling of, oh, that's so good, all that Nutri-Grain. Awesome. So good. It's so bad for you.
It's really convenient as well. Like it is so quick to make. So sometimes I'll literally have Nutri-Grain just because I cannot be bothered to cook oats or anything. It's just like psh, psh, done, and you're out. Yeah. I think that's another reason why a lot of people do it.
Well, I did that video yesterday about someone put petrol in my sugar in my petrol tank. So I tell you what I actually did. I took drugs off somebody when I was young. So I went and stood over them, took their drugs off of them, and the guy, my ex-girlfriend, was his, like he started seeing it. I was a bit annoyed at him, and he was this drug dealer. So at this day club, I just dragged him into the toilets, got all of his drugs off of him, and just went and partied. And so he put sugar in my petrol tank. It totally wrecked my car. Like it wasn't a good car anyway. It was like one of those Ford work van things, and it was like terrible car. But my car never run right. Like it was just the worst. It'd conk out. The mechanics trying to get it all out, and I had no money as well. As like, it was just the worst thing. But that's like your body. Same thing. You put all this sugar in it and stuff. Your body can't run right. Your insulin gets spiked. You just like blood sugar goes through the roof, and your body's got to process that. Do you know what I mean? It's not prepared to go there anymore. Like I want my body humming like nothing else. So the 31-minute mindset is like, what are you prepared to do every day to live your best life? Like really, that's the whole thing. What are you prepared to do every day to live your best life? That's the 30.
And then stretch.
And then the 1 is stretch. So what's the stretch? So every time I bring something in, goat's milk, I freaking hate goat's milk, to be honest with you. I can't stand it. It's like disgusting. It reminds me of the Easter show walking through as a kid with all the cow poo and all that, and you're walking behind them, like looking at them all, and you're like, oh, this stinks in here.
How many goats do they have to milk to get a litre of milk?
know.
It's all
And
these
it-
little, like,
and-
it's like one drip, like,
Yeah.
it's like a little drip.
And those hairy goats with the long coats and stuff, and they're all like got dreadlocks. And oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't even want to think about the people doing it either. Like it's unpasteurized. So basically, from the boob to the bottle. Like my goodness. Anyway, but the health factor so good. So what I go, well, what do I really want, and what am I prepared to do it?
Yeah.
And same as work, Jordan. This whole thing, 31 minutes is not about health. It's about your entire life. What are you prepared to do to create the best life possible? No compromise. No compromise. Are you prepared to go to bed early? People like that in itself. People are like, oh, this is a bit hard. I go to bed at 11. Train your mind to go to bed at 8 o'clock if you can. I know some people got kids, doesn't always happen. I understand. But do it 80% of the time, like in this way, because you're only going to benefit by going to bed earlier. So you can get up earlier, and then off you go, and you're like an elastic band slinging you into today. Like I feel that good when I wake up. I already humming from the moment I open my eyes, almost. Have to sometimes work your way into it, but mostly. And then I go down and have a couple of pods, butter, goat's milk, powder, things, whatever, all those other things. Have a shower, watch a couple of songs, come to the factory, fasted train now. I feel better fasted than ever. And then into work, we're doing our thing. We are pumping. Record month this month. 11th rate rise just happened. We have a record month. We'll do more than $1 million this month, our team. That's an energy thing. That's not just because people are ringing us. We are literally going out and blowing apart the market now. How we are that connected right now, our team. It's a mindset.
I tell you what it feels like in the office every day when, the football teams, when they come in, they're huddling together and they're singing songs and they're banging things.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're like. We're like
We are.
in sync. I say to you every day, we are pumping. We're the best we've ever been. We're tight. We are like in the zone.
In the zone.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. And we are not sitting there talking about inflation. We're not sitting there talking about interest rate rises. We're not. We're sitting there saying, what can we do today? What can we do? Who wants to buy a house and sell a house?
Yep.
What can we do? What's coming up? And we talk about it and we almost draw it out of ourselves. Like, who else have we seen? Who else can we deal with? Are we prospecting hard enough? Are we marketing enough? Are we building your brand? Like all of that sort of stuff. Like we are so focused on forward momentum, but that's a mindset, George. There's other agents in other offices right now going, oh, people aren't buying property.
That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, people aren't doing this. Oh, is there more rate rises? Doesn't mean we don't pay attention to it, but we don't get drawn into it. The 30 minutes is do what you need to do. If you have a goal, you have to do everything you can to line up with that goal. What is that going to take? You want to lose weight? I can tell you, stop eating rubbish. That's it. Stop eating rubbish. Stop snacking. Maybe do the 12 till 4 eating window. Go for walks. Instead of going and sneaking chocolate, go for a walk around the block. There's a choice. You'll lose weight. You will. But you've got to make this rigid, this like such a deep inner, because I know sometimes you go, oh, you're such like a robot. I'm not like a robot. I choose to do it because I've got the outcome in mind. That's it. It's the only way there. I know I sort of am a robot, but it's like, yeah, but I do it because I've trained myself so well. I'm like, if I just keep doing this thing, because I've seen it, George, you've got to understand, I've worked my way out of the gutter, but I can see that if I choose this, like Jackson's brother, most disappointing person I've seen. One of my kids. Like, is it not, Jack?
Yeah, it's affected everyone.
Unbelievable.
His decisions.
Had the world at his feet, chucked it away for drugs and drink. Women. Drugs, drink, women. Pokies. We've watched it. It's like, but isn't it interesting that your choices just direct you this way? Now he's got nothing. Zero. Got nothing going for him. Nothing. He's just interested in buying vapes, wandering around, no job now, nothing. Like this kid was sponsored by everyone. He's traveled the world. You saw it. You've been invested in it, Jordan. Same as Jaxson. He had a full-time filmer, all this sort of stuff. Even Jaxson said to me, he goes, I'm just so disappointed. I just can't believe he's made these decisions. But isn't it interesting? Gone from this, and then a whole sequence of choices takes you over this way. But it works the other way too. It doesn't matter where you're at. And people want things so quickly. Don't worry about the quickly. Just make the choices this way and you watch what happens. You can become anything that you want. Maybe not a pro athlete, but you can become anything you want. You want to be number one in your company? This is the direction of choices. You want to be healthy at 60? This is the direction of choices. You know, you want to be 30 kilos lighter? This is, because the 30 kilos too heavy, the direction of choices just got you there. That's it. Nothing else. Your discipline or lack of has got you, actually, you're just very disciplined in eating rubbish. That's what it is. Being lazy and eating rubbish. That's pretty much it. Drinking too much. Addiction is nothing more than continual choices in an area that you get so used to that you crave the feeling of it. That's all it is. People say to me all the time, how did you stop drugs? Like, I was such a bad drug addict. Like, there was this thing that Tara sent me last night of a drug addict in the street in America having this fit. And she wrote, this is so sad. And I was watching all the police around her and things like that. That was me. That was what I was like. You know how many times I've been rushed to hospital because I've been seizures and stuff like this, overdosing, sticking needles in my arm. So many. I said to her, that's me. That's what I was. She's like, really? That bad? I'm like, that bad. Worse. So bad. And people say, how did you stop? I wanted to. I stopped. And I could see that all my choices had just created my life down that way. Now I'm like, well, I don't want that anymore. So what I'm going to do is go this way. Does it mean you didn't relapse and stuff? Yeah, you did, but just get back on the horse again and keep choosing down that way. And then you're going to end up somewhere great. You know, I was watching a video, I watch a lot of videos. I was watching a video the other day and they said something like a fit guy in his 50s is like 1% of the population. What was that video? I don't know, you might have saw it, Jay. Like someone who exercises in their 40s or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Someone who's exercises and fit in their 50s is like 1% of something, whatever they were saying the percentage was. I'm like, doesn't everyone want to be fit? Don't they?
Yeah.
What isn't it? What isn't 99%? I don't understand why the 99% of when you're in their 50s want to be fit, not the other way. Because it's not easy. It's like hard. I don't know anything in life that's good, that's easy to get. Nothing. But it takes the same amount of time as the not so good thing.
I tell you what, it really amazes me though with, like I've got a friend of mine just separated from his partner, older, 50s, in the gym, eating healthy, not going out. I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. Where was he? Like, and I'm not, I don't know.
Was he not like that when he was married?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Nothing like a bit of pain won't do for you.
Isn't it funny? But why don't you do, and I don't know, but is that the reason why it happened? I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah, for sure.
Probably, maybe. But why does something like that have to happen before somebody makes a change?
It's such a good point.
That's what I always think. I'm like...
I said this to Tara the other day.
This is a great point.
I said this to Tara the other day. Isn't it funny that you're with someone and then you just get so lazy and so whatever, and you end up with this person 20 years later or 10 years later, they're completely different.
Yeah.
They're overweight. They don't smell nice. They don't make any effort. They're a pig to be around. Why would you want to be with that person?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you signed up for at all. And you don't have to stay like phenomenal, but you put like effort into yourself and make yourself the best for your partner. Imagine waking up every day with someone that you just don't like or not attracted to. It's like, and you're going to get older. You're going to get older, but you can still stay energetically attractive.
Yeah, and you've got to make a conscious effort to be still doing everything that you were doing in the beginning. Yeah,
you got a contract. Contract has two sides. Yeah, you know. So I talk about Tara all the time, like, because I'm like, you know, I want to stay the best that I can, and I was the best condition that I can. Anyway, the 30 minutes is like, make the decision in the direction you want to go. And every day you got to execute on that decision. And the one, Jordan?
Stretch.
Do a bit more.
Yeah.
Do a bit more. And that means a bit of learning, a little bit of execution. If you've got to make 10 calls, do 12. If you've got to go to the gym for cardio and you do this much and you're sweating, you want to get off, just do 1 minute more. 1 minute over a long period of time. Anything. Do 1 rep more. Save $10 extra a day instead of buying the coffees and stuff if you want to get financially ahead. You know, something. That one is just something extra that push yourself a little bit more, and you're going to end up somewhere phenomenal. But you've got to have the mindset of, I want to achieve something great. Because time is passing you by. I can't believe I'm 51. That's like old people's area.
It's not. It's like people live
sort of.
to over 100, halfway.
But you look at Joe Rogan, he looks great, 55 years old. All of these things. It's a mindset. What's that, Jocko Wilco, or his name is?
Jocko Willick.
Look at him,
Wilnick.
56 years old.
Machine.
Mate, what a machine.
Yeah.
What a machine. It's possible. It's possible. So if people are listening to this feeling a bit flat with themselves, they're feeling a bit like, oh, my body, I'd rather do something about it today. Like today, go sign up for a gym, go sign up for whatever. Make a decision to say, I'm going to go in this direction, because you can literally change your life in 12 months. But imagine in 5 years, and imagine in 10 years, and imagine the rest of your life. That's why I won't compromise anything to do with stuff that's going to take me off track anymore, even down to food. Like, I'm just not prepared to process crap food, just like crap people in your life, just like drinking in your life, just all. Why would you do it? You're making a choice to go and get it. Tom Penrose had a great saying. He said, if you're overweight and you can't eat chocolate, he said, don't buy it. Just don't put it in the cupboard.
Yeah.
You know, go and buy some pods and put pods in the cupboard and eat them. They do not spike your blood sugar at all. You know, like at all. So why eat the chocolate? For the sake of that impulse satisfaction for 5 seconds. Anything that feels good in the moment is usually not good long term. Anything that doesn't feel good, because it's hard work, an ice bath. Jaxson won't do ice baths anymore. I said, get in that ice bath. Jack. No, don't. It's too cold.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking about doing it.
Give up. He gave up. Did it 3 times, given up.
No, I did it for a month straight. And then one day I just couldn't do it anymore.
Gave up. You loser. No, but he gave up, sitting out the back door, right? Like, I will get Jaxson most things in life that he needs that's good for him. But it's up to him to implement it. But imagine you kept doing it all the way.
Yeah.
From now. Imagine inflammation in your body, you know, just the mindset of achievement. But he'd rather sit on his video game.
Yeah, I can't play this game all day, every day.
Video game.
I play it for an hour at night.
That's his choice. No, that's his choice. Video game are for losers. But it's like, he loves to sit on his video game. But that's his choice. But he's see how it takes the same amount of time though? He's investing each day in this video game, talking to his mates, like some little special kid sitting in his bedroom. But he's like, you know, or he could be doing ice bars, he could be doing this and that, but that's up to him. At one point, I know he's going to say, hey, this is great, I'm going to do it again. We've all done it. Same as with you, Jordan. Prospecting, same thing. We've all got areas of our life, but now you're getting it. Now, the amount of times we've had stand-up arguments about prospecting, and it's like, because you couldn't be bothered. Really, you just couldn't be bothered. You're just lazy about it because it's too hard. Nothing comes from it. Walking up the street for 2 hours and come back and like nothing comes from it. Pretty much nothing. And you're like, I don't get it. It's just like nothing. It's like, why do you do this? But you'd rather sit on and talk to people that you know because it's more comfortable. But when you put yourself out there a little bit and say, you know what, I'm going to create something phenomenal because you're already doing really well, but now you're getting the prospecting part. Now, you're going to be that successful, I can't even explain it to you. Same as with Jaxson. Like, his filming is going next level now. But it's all these hours in that direction. You know, all these little things in that direction. And then only good is going to come from it. Achieving success is hard, but it's really easy once you create the habit of it. Really easy. Because it's like, why would I do this over here now? Like, I look at people injecting cocaine in their arm, I think, why would they do that? But I did it for half my life. Ridiculous. But it was just easy because I knew I could just sit there and watch porn and do whatever else and muck around and just do nothing, just be a loser. Absolutely. You know? Yeah. Now I'd rather get an ice bath or a sauna and just cardio, whatever, because I know it's going to end up somewhere great, like phenomenal. That's where we're headed right now. And then when you're doing that, push yourself one. Just push yourself a little bit more. Every single day, push yourself a little bit more. Drink the goat's milk. Shut up and drink the goat's milk. It's good for you because the bacteria is going to love it. And you're going to operate at a higher frequency. And when you learn about frequency and stuff, you don't want to get off that train. Why would you not want to be on the highest frequency possible? Because in that, when you go a higher frequency, it opens more doors and more good stuff finds you. Why would you not do that? Why would you even have a beer? Like, really, why would you have a beer? What? It's just going to change the frequency. It's like saying, I'm just going to drive around the streets in first gear. Yeah, well, cool. It's like,
I'll be in sixth.
yeah, let's go to 6 and see how hard we can go. Anyway, the 31-minute mindset. Do what you need to do. Make a decision in the direction you want to go. Choice after choice after choice. You're designing it. You're creating the tracks. And then when it gets really hard, do one more. And you do that over time, you will have the best life ever.